You can look at my palette, but if you're an artist, it's a split primary, so a warm and cool of each primary color. And we can go into detail later. So I love the list of this guy that he was leaning in. That's what I should call it, leaning in. But I didn't think of it till now. I use a little turp sometimes to get things going. I don't use a medium. I just haven't figured all that out yet. And I love shadows. So that shadow on that paint, on this, wasn't there really, but I just threw it in there because the shadows connect your darks. So they're important to have. They just kind of lead you around the painting when you have a good shadow. There's a nice one here. So I can put this in kind of light and later on adjust. I painted the street 2 or 3 times when I was out on the street because I just couldn't get it right. I wasn't getting the drawing right. And I just scraped it and tried again, scraped it and tried again. And that's how you learn. I am not. I mix my own black with transparent colors. And this is usually ultramarine, sap green, a little, I use quinacridone, or sometimes just my blue and brown together make a nice wash. Yeah. And please feel free to come around my easel. It doesn't bother me at all. To see what I'm doing, I don't mind. So I'm looking at that for my drawing. I should be looking at that, but it's very confusing. When I'm not painting from life, I don't know where my life is here. I'm kind of going back and forth. I should be using this for the drawing part probably, and this for the color. But you know, things change really fast when you're outside painting, as you know. And I like going out in the afternoon because that's just the sweet time. It keeps getting better and better. Right? There's more stuff in here. So wait. Oh yeah, the tire touching. There's always a shadow underneath cars. Always, always, always. It just immediately identifies that it's a car. And if you just do block in things and you got that shadow underneath, you got it. It's a car. I am going to be teaching a class. I guess I should promote myself in Morgan Hill in November, a 2-day class. I'm very excited about it. I had one earlier, and there were about 7 students, and we had a blast. And we were kind of bummed not to have another day, so I convinced my gallery in Morgan Hill to give me another day with it. This color was a mistake color. I'm going to just put this in, just so I see that tree. It's a tree. When trees go further back, they don't just get bluer, they get a little grayer. That is a secret trick. It's not, you know, you see mountains and stuff, you know the trees are just the same color as this tree, but they're further back and it all looks blue, but there's a tiny bit of gray in there. And to get a gray for greens, you add a little complementary color. So that's how you gray, put it back. And then I'm going to put this bougainvillea in here with a thin wash. I was discovering that when you have a color this brilliant as bougainvillea is, if you keep boogering it up with more paint, it's almost like the canvas gives it some light if it's thin. And I was playing with that a little bit, and once you add white, it kind of opaques it. So I'm going to try this one with just one a little thinner since I don't have much time anyway. We'll see how it looks. just looking for big shapes right now. Don't get caught up in all the details, like that. No, just kidding. That's sort of it. That was sort of a part of it. And we're gonna go dark. Should have had a bigger brush. That's what it is. These are some darks in here. So usually when I'm out painting, people come in at this stage and it's really ugly because I always put the darks in first, and it's the lights that everyone responds to. But it's kind of fun. Like I know that slowly, once I get the lights and all of a sudden people say something to me, okay, I forgot that I needed a red spot. So I'm going to just take my rag because I want to keep that pretty clean. And there's where my red will go. There's also such a brilliant red there. I think I'm going to mix my red cat light with a little of the quinacridone just to brighten it a little bit. And just throw this. Look at that. Big shapes. You know, this whole thing, right? This tree in the background and this is one big shape. And we can adjust all of that later. But let's just put all of this mountain in. And I simplified this. There was all kinds of stuff. If you look at the photo of what was going on, wait, oh, you can't see it there. Some guy took that picture. The guy that owned the Jeep got my card and he sent me a picture. I forgot about that. That's why it's in that thing. Okay. There was this is what I'm trying to grab. See all that garbage that's back in there? There's all kinds of houses and telephone poles. I just put a gray in. That's it. Just keep it simple. And isn't it cool? Like just like a suggestion of things so you can imagine what it is. It's more like, ooh, that could be, anything. So that's kind of where we are. And there were garbage cans, and I was going back and forth on the garbage cans, but I just decided to do it. A lot of times I use the same brush, and my colors transfer a little bit. At this stage, it doesn't really matter. This was interesting that I put that a little bit at a slant. I'm going with that. Okay, where is that? Alright, so this is a little on the too mauvey side, so a little too pinky. I'm going to put in a little yellow ochre, bring it down a little bit. But what I do is I just guess initially. And when I'm, because I'm rushing, I usually have several big piles and I look at how they all relate to each other while they're on my palette. See, I'm already looking at this going, no, that's too purpley. That's not what I'm after. I want this. Try again. Don't use that pile. Try another pile. And possibly I can work into this color to change it. See, I just kind of put in another thing that changes that. It's still too purpley. A little more orange. There we go. Warmer. So the sun is on the road. The sun is warm. So usually everything that's facing the sun on the road has a warm look to it. I mean, this is general. But like the top side of a rock would be warm. If the faces are reflecting the light of the ground, then it's, never mind. But I like oils that you can just, I don't get too upset about what's almost like the color of my canvas. About how it is in between time. You can just keep adjusting the thing. So now we need a stringent than this color, but color's not a bad thing. You know, hitting it over, we can always bring it down. Can you guys see, or is this okay? Is there anything you're like, God, I wish you'd move, or just like say something? Because I'm here for you. Say something. I'm here for you. These are the seats. In that painting, I just made it go straight across. In this painting, they have two bumps, like bucket seats. But they were starting to look like two eyes and a round nose. So I kind of did that. I don't know. Do we know art? I don't know if it matters. It's starting to look shape up. So I'm going to make a little silver for this guy, just a little something hubcap thing. And then, so I'm looking at this mountain through a window. The window's probably got a little bit of a green tint to it. So maybe that would be a way to distinguish, I don't know, I'm just guessing. Just to make it a little different, put a little bit of green in it, just to make this different from the background. But the background's probably going to change anyway. They do. I don't think, I can't really see the steering wheel or anything. I didn't put in side mirrors. I don't see it. It looks weird. When you set up your easel, you should never do what I did, but I had no control over it. Have something bright around it because my irises contract and then I can't see what I'm doing so well. It's like looking into the light. So usually I could be painting that, but I would choose to turn my easel right here so that there's all this shade right around behind it. And so people don't understand why I'm faced the way I am. But it's all so that I can have the best vision. Yeah, I can't see this at all. I'm just going, okay, whatever. It's like black and white. It's sidewalk. What did I use? I went with a very light, yeah, there is kind of a mauve-y pinky in this painting. I see it now in the photo. There is a difference. So, I use yellow ochre a lot for some reason. Do you use yellow ochre a lot? No? Yeah. Oh, do you? Yeah. I don't know why. It's a grade thing for me or something. Oh. Before I get into lights, I have to finish my darks. So I'm going too fast on that. Let's get this dark shadow going on in here. And fences are really kind of, I don't think I like them because they're my painting a lot, but I don't. Split compliments. It's a warm and a cool. of each primary color. So that would be Cad Yellow Light is cool. That is warm. That's my extra color. I'm almost out of orange. Red is warm. Quinacridone or alizarin crimson is cool. This is controversial about whether ultramarine blue is warm or cool. I've heard both. Yes. Cerulean is just a very punchy color. This is the cerulean hue, which is much pure, and the hue is really strong. The pure is like not strong at all. So kind of get your money's worth. Hue. This I use this bright bright yellow is phthalo, and it never use it by itself. It's a mixed color. It just looks like unless you're painting children's plastic toys, but it's just too strong. This is sack green. I do use that a lot, and this is a transparent red or red oxide. And that is a mixed color, often blocking in with the browns there too. And then these are my cheat colors. You can make these yourself, but I use Gamblin's Radiant Colors, and that's for when I want to mix when I've got my grays and I want to get them warmer, cooler. This, like my pink. So many times I'm making a gray and it turns green. And if I just add the complement as pink, it's based on red, it turns it into a much nicer gray. So these I'll just hope to, but then sometimes the blues, it's the end of the day, I gotta get a sky in, I'll just do blue with that, and I'll just like jam it around, and I get some of the green trees in it, and that kind of gets it gray, and I used to get, the sky, it's so perfect, it's like a clear eggshell. And now, it's a really boring sky when you do it that way. So if you just like get it on your brush, just have fun with it. I have a lot more fun with skies now. See this, you can see it on this one. I did, that little cloud wasn't there, but it's been there before, where you have that little low, fog thing that sits. So rather than just all blue sky, I thought, I'm just going to put a little suggestion of a cloud, of fog there. Any questions so far? Yes. How do I do what? How do I thin them? This is Gamsol. It is odorless mineral spirits. So it's like turpentine. It's Gamsol by Gamblin Brothers. Okay, but it is not healthy to have in a room. Even though you can't smell it, you're still breathing it. So that's one reason why I'm a plein air painter. You should always, if you're going to paint inside, have really good ventilation. Put an air filter in there. I put a bathroom fan above my easel, so it's being filtered into my attic. I open my windows up. So, we want to live a long time, so don't. I know someone who has is on oxygen. She painted her whole life, and it's just take care with that. Yes, I do. It's really good about filtering all the oils go down to the bottom. You get this nice gray slime down on the bottom of it. But I'll eventually put it all up. I shake it up now to get all that stuff out from underneath it and put it in a jar and let it settle. And then you can take the stuff off the top and use it again. I never throw this away. Yeah. This now I go back to, thank you for interrupting me, because now this looks too short and squatty. Look at that. It's not drawn right. So, oh well. Maybe I'll just make it taller up here, because there's all these racks up here. But my dilemma is if I cut it out down here, there's a lot of space here that I don't like. if I were doing this by myself, I might, not start over, but figure it out. But I'm not going to. But when you turn away and you come back, your first impression is so important. You go, oh, I see it now. I'm so busy with the details that this looks a little wide, but that's okay. It's just a demo. And I love this fact I can do it this way. There's a little bit of green grass coming in here. So this could be the green grass that kind of goes in the border. So here's where the shadow is. There's going to be a shadow of green right here. A little shadow of green right here. Shadow of green here. And if you guys are getting bored, I am not offended. I can't even see who's here and who isn't. So don't feel like, God, this is like watching paint dry. It's okay. I won't even see you leave, I promise. I love these filberts. I like the longer ones, and I've started getting into the straight edge ones too, when I'm doing architecture, but I've just really gotten into the filberts with the round edges. And, yeah. Oh, I want to bring this down here too. There's a little bit of green on here, and that's okay with me because it's the shadow of that coming in. And I think that shadow isn't lining up with the bush now, so I'm going to just do that. That's a little on the bright side, so I'm going to add a little red to it, a little blue to it, a little white to it, a little red to it.
I know, it's so hard to say for Sophia.
I love doing curves. This guy's casting a shadow. There's my answer. If this guy's casting a shadow, this guy's casting a shadow, right? Even though it's not in the photo, but now you're going to know what's wrong with this painting. No, but I'm going to do it. That gives me a little something over here. In this corner. It's kind of fun. And it would be, a little bit would be under here. So this is that. Oh, this is that. Okay. There you go. And now, I want to distinguish this hill now from this hill. Just by making it opaque, it kind of breaks it up from that. Oh, I go back. The one I did that's up on my board was a view out the back of the estuary. And I was staying in that house, and I did that over the course of 3 mornings. So I love going back and just taking my time and looking at it. I love going back with a dry painting and considering what I could do to change it, or a painting that just I never really liked, and just see what I can do. I kind of like the idea of maybe this going straight so that really looks like an angle. It's just composition. And then I'm going to go ahead and put these little phone poles in. Just one, two. It's kind of part of that mask. So, know, I'm not all exact because I'm going to put the sky in next and I can trim around it. It doesn't have to be perfect. That's why I want to put this in now. Because once you put that sky in, it gets kind of messed up. You can't add to white as easily as you can. I'm going to just get this first stage. I go, you know, it's a little thinner, and then I start piling on the paint. I might not have time to get to that part of it. But I think it's all in your muted tones. Because when you get your muted tones and figure them out, oh man, the bright colors really, you really can emphasize the bright colors. But if everything was bright, it just wouldn't work. So to get muted tones, again, you add the complement. So if you want to get good grays, you know your complementary colors, purple and yellow. But you can be creative about what that means. You can use yellow pepper, you can use orange. A lot of times I'll use this bright yellow green as a yellow, and I'll add it to purple. It makes an incredible gray when you put some white in it too. Yeah. Oh, this was going to be. I screwed up there. Just going to put a little shadow over the paint I just dropped down. It's getting there. I can't always see how my painting's going to go. You know, I don't look at a painting going, it's going to be exactly like this. So often it's unexpected. I have a game plan for it, but things can happen that I don't always plan for. Make this yard a little bit more. Now this looks like it's bleeding. I guess that. Do I have to put in the pigments? I just go right. Well, you know, there's different ways. So many. Yeah, that's exactly it. So I'm thinking there's two ways. I can pick up with the paper towel, or I could pick up the clean brush and put a little of this OMS on. And then you've got clear canvas that you could put a nice purple down so it's in the shade. So let's try the clean brush approach. Because the paper towel might kind of go like this. I mean, I think I did there, I just threw it on and it wasn't my finest hour, but it wasn't an important part of the painting. You know, sometimes it's better just to throw the idea of it in and don't worry about it. You know, if it's like perfect all the time, then your eye's going to go to it. So the thing, there's so many things I haven't told you about, like focal points and edges. But I feel like I want there to be movement in my paintings. A lot of people say, what is the focal point? And it is important. But my first thought is, how is my eye moving around the painting? And I don't know if that's wrong or right, but I don't hear people talking about that quite as much as they do focal points. but I mean, I'm not saying they're overrated, but it's not. I'm so busy thinking of what the composition is that I don't want to get distracted by little bits and bitty parts that you have to get your eye to get to. I want you to live in the whole painting. I want you to walk down the street and look around and find interesting things to see. But I'm not saying, that's just me. So I'm mixing, I use some of my cheaty little radiance, and this is a really pretty little purple. See that pretty? It's a really pretty purple, but it's almost too pretty. So I'm gonna do this. If you guys want to come up and see me mix, you can. I'm doing a pretty purple, and then I want to just put a little orange in it, that gives it almost more mauve, but it needs to be in the shade, so I want it more blue. And it's just a little bit more, it's not so strong purple. It's stone purple. I want it to be a little more contrast. And the other way you can do it is with a palette knife. You can put it on the edge of your palette knife. And you can put it in here like this. But I'm going to just do it just to show you. You know, that kind of thing. Not bad. I kind of like that. Then there's going to be a little. How are we doing on time?
45 minutes. Well, 40 minutes.
I might have to do another painting. Okay, there's a little red on my brush when I did that, but I'm not too worried about it. So when you get down to the lights, that's when you're starting to use more opaque colors. Your darks are a little more transparent, meaning your ultramarine blue, your sap green, your that brown I told you about, that transparent brown, is a transparent brown, transparent color. And it makes good for darks because you're putting, that's why it's nice you're putting your darks on first, because you're putting transparent color down, and when you finally go in with the lights, that's opaque, and you won't muddy up your nice and transparent. So it's nice to go in that order, because if you start with opaque colors first, they get muddy so fast. Okay, this looks like it's not light enough to me. So I'll go back to my little pile. And then now I don't like the edges. So the other thing that's important is edges. When you do a painting, there's several ways to move the eye around. Overlapping, or to move space. Overlapping shapes, a big shape, and then a shape behind it. Sharp edges or soft edges. If they're sharp, they're usually in the foreground, and they soften out as they go in the background. Every rule can be broken. Bright colors tend to pop up. Warm colors are in the foreground. Cool colors go in the background. So all of those things, when you have to start using all those little tools in your toolbox, they help you move space. They're all great ways to use space. So when we're talking, the reason I was talking about sharp edges, here's a sharp edge there. I don't know if it's because I don't like making up decisions, or if it's the way I paint and it's just good. I tend to not like a lot of sharp edges. I want to pick those later on maybe, but I don't know. I like things to be a little bit, not so everything have an edge. I kind of like it more. So I'm putting in the complement to blue, which is orange. And that is now too wide there. Yay, that's getting there. Now that's too cool, that's warm. Do you see that? This is cool under here. It's a cool gray, and this is a warm gray. That's what was bugging me to begin with. So I grabbed from the wrong little pile. There you go. And then it's cooling off as it goes back. I'm going to put a little more warmth right here. And it's okay with me if it does like, yeah, like that. But it's still, see, this is where I don't know, I'm probably over. And this wheel is way too skinny. That's good. And then I want to get this wheel. You know, the Jeeps, the thing you know it's a Jeep is that fifth wheel on the back of it. And it really says, okay, that's a Jeep. So you got to make sure that's got to be key. I really liked doing this painting when I was painting it. It kind of fell on my lap. And I had 3 other ideas of things I was going to do today. And then, again, just like plein air. Okay, change of plans. I've spent a little bit of money at CVS on these photos for other things. I go, I'll do that another time. I'm doing this. The other thing is that when you paint, you start losing your you remember it the more recent paintings, you remember what was going on. But the ones I was going to show you were like Carmel, like back in May. I don't really remember what was going on then. I think I need to do something more recent. So this is a sharp edge here, and I'm clean my brush off. I'm just going to kind of lighten it up. It doesn't need to be that way. These are all the fun things you do at the end, and you're waiting for me to do the okay, let's do it. And I did like a brilliant blue. This was I start with sketches, thumbnail sketches when I go out, and this tells me where they're not beautiful, just for me, but where it is on the canvas. I look through this thing. I'm going backwards in how to start this. I apologize, but this is what I look through to find what my scene is, and there's marks here to tell you what size canvas that would be. It's called a view catcher. I call it a viewfinder, but the TM is view catcher. So I Velcro it on the back here so that as soon as I get there, I'm not looking for it. I have one in my fanny. I have enough easels there just because I have to have this. I can't do that thing because I look to see where everything is going to, what edge it's going to. It helps me so much with composition, like what's in the middle, and it actually was teaching me initially how to do perspective drawing because I could see where the line was hitting in relationship to the sides. So it'd be like, okay, that house is going from 1/3 in on this side to 2/3 down on this side, and I knew where to make that line. But now I'm learning about, I'm trying to be more. Not use this as that tool. To know where my eye line level is, and then to make my perspective from this, that, all those things. But this was really helpful. Still use it all the time. And then I take my pencil, and whatever shape I've decided to draw, I just take my pencil and I draw that shape. And then I look through it, put it down, and draw exactly what I'm seeing through here on there. So I that Selena Bay that I got an award for, that's that painting right here. That's my little My husband and I, when we run the disposal, we'll just like mouth it and go, and I'm leaving, and then when it turns off, and I'm leaving. That's funny. He's a funny guy. Okay. Oh, see, look at that. Okay, yes, the sky. I'm sorry, time out. No. Okay, so with sky, I am going to use palette knife, keep it clean. And I'm looking at these. So I can tell there's a little bit of detail. So a lot of white, a little blue, that's good somewhere else out, and so if you ever put too much on, put it off to the side and bring it over and mix it around. So this blue is actually ultramarine blue, just lots of white. It's the same thing. And I love putting a little bit of this pink in that's on my thing with the blues. And it just gives it a little lavenderish. And then after you've made your, I mean, this is really my news show. But a lot, okay, when I've taught a class, and people will put their paints like here, there, and they don't have it in order. And I'm not at order, but please start getting used to it in order. Don't do that. And this is just for mixing. And when you've mixed your color, which I didn't do until I'm doing this now because I'm going to put it in thick. Pick it up again with your knife. Use another knife and put it down so it's kind of puffed up and it's not spread out all over. Because otherwise, what you're going to do is you're going to mush it in here and mush it on there. When I pick this up, okay, I have to go just a tiny teensy bit of thinner gamsol, and I don't want too much because I don't want to thin it down. So I can put that on there like that, okay? And then I can go this. You know, I got enough to play with. And then if I'm looking at this going, it's a little bit too blue, heat it up a little bit. And it just has a little depth to it and just flex. And a lot of times I go, oh, I like that idea of the clouds. Like instead of this being a band, I think I might do the clouds down below. I kind of like, it was just a mistake, but I kind of like that line, the way that is. So now I get to do that. Can you see on the camera what I'm painting? Yeah, sort of. It's amazing. It's amazing. So another clean knife. This down, and I want more color. This one, honestly, is a little too cool. So I'm going to try this time to go a little warmer with a little bit of, instead of lemon yellow, I'm going to try the yellow and a tiny bit of, you know it, ochre. I like it. That isn't it? I'm going to put a little pink in it because sometimes those clouds do have a little because it's different. Now it looks like the street, but that's okay. And then I'm going to just wipe this off. I could get a clean brush, but I told you how much I liked it. And I'm going to put a little more white on here, so I have it. look right now, and you know how the sky, it always gets so much warmer down here, and it's always so much brighter up there. The horizon is always, it's almost like, okay, have you guys learned anything today? What have you learned? Tell me, like, what was helpful? Darks? Okay, good. Oh no, I've got a few. I have a few. Yeah, but I do often. I use one brush. I thought I had these pretty brushes, and you think, oh, she always uses nice brushes. They don't. I don't. And
What do you use to wash your brushes after?
I use ivory soap. It is great. Everyone has their thing. I like ivory. I wash my brushes every night after I paint. My husband can't believe it. Because I don't wash much else. I do. That's a really good question. I do with this red oxide color. And it gives it a warmth. See how that's already there? So if there's little holes in here, instead of white peeking through, there's like this warm glow kind of thing. And I used to paint thinner, and it looked kind of okay, you know? I'm trying to thicken up a little bit these days. And charge more. You're wondering about that dot, right? How many people were looking at that? So now it's it's a dark shape with a light, and this is always like, oh, so much easier to do this when it's dry, right? So, for one thing, I think I'm going to just soften this edge with my finger, just so there's not quite so much heat there. I think it's so important when I'm out painting is to engage kids, because I don't think they get enough art in school. I mean, they can't, you know, there's just so many things to learn, so I will always stop for a kid. I'm not sure about how this relates, and I want to go back to the place. This with that. And this, it almost looks like there's something. Okay, good. This is going a little too fast, so I would probably warm that up back there a little bit. But this still looks like let's get some. Let's just do this. Okay, this edge is still not clean, so now I go in with the dark. There's like a play between edges. Which one's over the other? You know, and so you always want to make sure that you finish up with the one that's on top of the other shape. And just, you know, you don't need much on there, just kind of taking it and moving it. All right, I don't like this. I know I'm supposed to do the greens, but this, I love how warm that got down there. And it's too close. So I'm going to go. It's really hard not to be there to do this.
Do you take pictures before you start painting?
I do. As much as anything, I do it so I know what time of day it was if I want to go back. I know where I was if I want to go back. See, I just warming this up a little bit. That's really helpful with the relationship with this shape. feels like it needs something. It's different from here. These shapes just changed. I'm sure you have already figured out why, but so I'm just going to put something in here just to make it look like there's something. We don't know. Okay, let's go ahead and mix it up. And then do you always scrape up your leftover paint and make your grays out of that? Oh yeah, that's great. You get great grays when you mix them up and keep them. I don't throw much away. Obviously, you see that piece of paper towel. There's too much paint under here. Maybe it's just because the sun is hitting. All right. So under here, there's all this. There's just a little bit of light in here. Not much. It's mostly dark. Yes. Yes. So that's what I love about this system is I put this lid on that lid and I freeze it. Yeah. I love that. In fact, I put all these paints out last night because I knew today was going to be crazy with hanging paintings and all that stuff. Okay, this is just like way too bright. I mean, okay. So I'll just add a little bit of white to bring it down just a little bit. Maybe a little bit of blue. Yeah, there we go. But I should have mixed more. I don't know why I'm being so skimpy today. Oh, because I'm almost out of blue. That's a good band they have today.
It was?
Yeah.
They had it last year.
Is it the same? Yeah, they're good. Okay, get just a little bit of, this is where the fun part comes in, right? You start seeing it.
So glad you left out Bette.
Oh, I'm glad you noticed that. Yeah. I love the shade of the yellow against this stuff. It's like, God, that's so cool, but it would have been smack dab in the middle. And there's no other, I guess I could have put it way down here, but then it's this tiny little thing, and then your eyes go right to it. And I don't want the word dead in my. I'm going to have to lighten that too, but I'll do that later. And then we will. Okay, there's all the little ting-tings that go on, but I told you I was going to finish this. So just a little more pink. So these leaves always have little turns and I've been noticing that recently. They don't want to have polka dots all over the place either, so it's kind of a fine balance. And I'm getting the scant light makes it hard. Can you guys see okay if I do that? I usually have an umbrella up, and I always put the umbrella on this back leg, so that also helps me figure out what direction I'm sitting. This is called Strata easel. Yeah, it's I've had it for maybe 6 years. It's lasted well. I have a smaller box that's this big. If I travel, I've gone to France and Italy and had smaller ones. guys need to go, it's fine.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, it's just shapes. It's just easy shapes, you know?
See you soon.
The strata? There's so many of them out there. Everyone loves their own easel. Everyone defends it, right? How are you with the strata? Okay. Wait, how long have you had it? Okay. Well, yeah, what did you have before? I went to a camera shop and I brought all my gear with me and they did a really good job. I had to upgrade the ball on here, so it took
So
more.
it wouldn't wobble, right?
It does wobble some, but I just learned. Yeah. Yeah, they were great. I went to San Jose Camera, and if you're,
There's summer fountains.
oh, did they? That's good. It's like you can come in and there's people there that work there. I love that. And then one time I came and there was adjustments that just jammed up, and I thought, oh no, and I went there and just so, yeah, 2 seconds. So the other good thing about doing that thing with puddles of color, big chunks, is it's there when at the end. Like I just needed a little bit of sky here, and it was already mixed, and I didn't have to sit there and do it all over again. So it's so important, I think, to pre-mix the color. It makes it all go faster. And then if someone's like staring at you, they'll get bored. Yeah, I mean, it's like mixing color is boring for anyone else. I love it. I'm pushing this back a little bit. I add a little blue and a little white so that it was a little bright. Here it is. Not, I mean, this time of year, yeah. But here are tricks to finding good places. Yeah. I love that. Is this how you use your, yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't do watercolor. You should ask Barbara Tapp. She does it. They dry faster. Are you adept at both?
I've done much.
Yeah, and you're comfortable with edges and mixing wet and wet and all that
I
stuff?
just only in the last year have started a lot of stuff.
Okay, I mean, I would do. Well, once you get this sense of like what you can do, once you feel like it's, maybe it's the angle. Yeah, titanium. I don't know enough about whites to know why titanium or titanium zinc, but this is another good example of the use. So sometimes the using palette knife looks too sharp, it's so obvious like palette knife to me, that I will soften it out with a brush. Some of this just looks too simplified to me. I mean, it's still an obvious stage, you know, it's got a little. But a lot of times I leave like this rough stuff in here, you know, like, it's okay, it's like fresh. It doesn't make sense if the fence is right here and that looks like, maybe this is just burnt out. So what was the disaster with your painting? Yeah.
Going outside.
Why don't you try drawing for a while? And then try monochrome. All one, just black and white or grise, you know, brown and white. So limit your color, limit your color.
Yeah, that's a good advice. Oh,
Yeah, so you should always draw. Well, sometimes, yeah, you learn to do the accurate drawing. Then you can freelance once you learn.
yeah, drawing is like, I wish I'd drawn more at the beginning. I feel like I'm behind. Oh, good. bringing the fence up, yeah, I was looking.
Nobody talks to the chief, you know?
Yeah, but it was way down here, and I was looking at the perspective, and it's like,
But now you can tell us.
yeah, yeah,
Here.
thank you. Hey, everyone, come back. They're all trashing my fence over there, I just know it. Well, not bad for,
We're doing it in front of 20 people.
yeah, I wasn't sure how, you don't know, you can't plan, you don't, you know. I got it done in time, that's what, you know. I should leave this for Mickey on his Jeep. The guy's name was Mickey, he came by, everyone knows him in the neighborhood.
My car, took a picture of me with it. He sent me an email he took another picture of the Jeep and then he put my painting right next to it. So he framed it and I put a picture. So I mean, I think he didn't take it. It was, yeah, he was pretty happy to
I thought it was time's up, the mic's off.
I think the mic died.
Actually, it is time.
Yeah. It was like 4:35. We had like this super nice break.
I thought it was a subtle way to say it.
Yeah, I know. Take a break. Technology is so hard. I know it's really That's going straight in my purple eyes. I can't tell you why. Yeah. Yeah. I get it. A lot of times it's like, I see some of this stuff, I'll just take a big brush and just, you know, get too and try again, or, I mean, this is okay. Other times, like, I like work something to death, I go, oh, no, that's not it. I decided that this fence can't come here. This is like I'm What do you care? What are you guys doing? So this is the painting that I did on location. And then I decided to come here and try to which one do you like? Oh, really? I like that. What's that? Yeah. They are very simple. Yeah, I'm just trying to do the same thing and show people how to paint. Oh, you like a bit of that? Oh, good. Yeah, I didn't notice. I was, and I was talking about how to use that value. And I just yeah, yeah, exactly. So where'd you go to school? Oh, did you? Oh, did you really? Oh. How do you like it? Do you like it? Good.
Co-ops there in the engineering firm.
Nice. So he got a job when he got out of school?
Yeah, he got a job at GE.
Oh, that's Oh, that's great. Wow. All right, now certainly.
Yeah.
She's not gonna want to do it. Tear down? Oh, really?